On today's show, I'm taking you on location with me to visit with an award-winning international singing sensation who is in Vancouver. Are you ready? It's gonna be a good one.
Had enough with this time. I see the truth. With you, don't need me no more. With you, don't need me no more.
Hello and welcome. You're watching The Ledge. I'm your host, Lola Acala. So glad that you could join us. This is a particularly special episode for me because I'm here at the Belmont Cabaret to see an award-winning international artist who's been making incredible waves across the globe since her debut in 2004. And it is particularly special for me because she is from my native home country of Nigeria, and I couldn't be more proud to present to you the Nigerian German phenomenon that is Nneka. Hey, girl.
Hello.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too shabby. Welcome to Vancouver, and welcome. Great to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
You know, I keep saying how tickled pink I am because, you know, just to see my people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing incredible things. So let's
Thank
start
you.
right from the beginning. Your dad is from Nigeria. You were born in Warri, and your mom's German.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that interesting background. Did your mom ever live in Nigeria?
Well, I didn't experience it, but yes, she did live in Nigeria for about 20 years.
Right. But when you say you didn't experience it,
She had already left, they had already separated when I was a year old.
Gotcha.
So I didn't experience that
so
part of things.
that was really in charge
Yes.
of you, and he did a great job.
Thanks to him, thanks to God.
Thanks to God.
And thanks to my stepmom. I had a stepmom.
Oh,
I have a stepmom.
wonderful, wonderful. So you later left Nigeria to go to Germany.
Yeah.
At what age was that?
That was when I was, I think, 18.
And you were going to Germany to begin your music career, or what was the plan at that time?
Well, there was no plan. First of all, I think the major issue was to get out of a situation that was not very appropriate for me at that time.
Right.
So I had to leave the country. I left without any family members, without any plans, without any idea whatsoever what would, what was going to come. I couldn't speak the German language. In the end...
Were you going there to find mom?
No, I was going to just find myself, more or less.
Indeed. So now you and your music were introduced to the world in 2004 when you opened for Sean Paul in Hamburg. To look back now, do you think that it would have led to all of this today?
I wanted to go on that set and be myself. Not be afraid, not be ashamed, and be aware of the moment, be in that moment, enjoy that moment, and be confident in that moment. And that's exactly what I did.
You know, it's incredible. I mean, to look at where you are today, you know, you must have been through an incredible journey just to get you here, especially to think that, you know, as a first-generation Nigerian who was able to go to the West, but to yet be able to make it to the top of your industry. I'm not sure a lot of people understand exactly what that struggle would have been like. First of all, to try to overcome the hurdles of immigration, to make yourself legal, and then to try to go back to school to finish your education, all the while contending with, you know, a lot of racism in an environment that would be reminding you every day that you didn't belong. How difficult were those formative years as you tried to pave a way for yourself in the world?
Well, it was intense, I must say. Ups and downs. My moving to Germany, you know, made it clear to me that, listen, Nneka, this is, you're on your own. You know, and at the same time, you can't forget where you're coming from. And you can't be here without having any motive or goal. Take advantage of what is being given. Education is for free. Take advantage of it. Learn the language. Do the best you can. First, leaving Nigeria all I wanted to do at that point in time, which is very, very sad and unfortunate, was to forget
Get out, yeah.
forget my Nigerianness, forget being an African. I would even go to the extent of twisting my accent so that people would not notice I'm from Nigeria. You know, and then even wear different clothes, be more of it's just for the fact that Nigerians were known, or at that time,
For nothing good.
were known for nothing good.
Yes.
And then obviously being an African girl coming into a very, I would say,
Tough environment.
European and very Western environment, they kind of made it clear to me, you are from Africa, you're going to be treated that way.
Yeah.
Oh, this poor little girl needs some help, which is kind of nice because I did need a lot of attention at that time, which I didn't get from my parents.
Oh, yeah.
So, there were advantages and disadvantages of that whole treatment. But then, after 2 years, I understood, when I started going to school and when I got to university, that's when I started experiencing racism.
Wow.
In an intense way, like at school, where the professor wouldn't want to allow me to write a dissertation because he considered me not capable, or us not being
Not good enough
adequate
for getting
for
that.
academics. He's like, you guys good at basketball, and I know you already do music, so actually what do you really want here?
And how were
this
you
was-
able to overcome those?
Well, the fact is that I told the professor, at that time, I told him, I said, listen, I don't come from a rich background. What I'm doing here, I'm using my music to finance my studies. And I do not want to be dependent on the state, which many people are.
They needed
And then when you are dependent on the state, you are forced to work and stay there for the rest of your life until you have paid back. So you're a slave to the system,
Very much so.
which I do not want to be, I'm sorry. So I work hard, even if it takes me 3-4 jobs and my music to finance my studies. That's exactly what I did. And in the end, I found out that he himself used to be a musician back in the days, or he used to play an instrument. And he was sad that he had to give that up to become a professor.
So to see you doing
I don't know. Maybe he was just bad
There might have
me.
been, there must have been a little bit of him that was like envious of what you were able to do for yourself.
Yeah, but that was that professor. But there were other situations also, like where we had.
Sure. Now, your first album, I believe Victim of Truth, came out in 2005. And that album really did great things for you. In fact, I believe UK Sunday Times described it as one of the most overlooked albums of that year. Did you know, as you wrote that album, were there indications at the time that that album was going to do what it did?
No, not at all. All I was doing was giving to the world something that I felt, that I personally felt was good for me. Just sharing that without any expectations. I was very, very passionate about it, and I didn't look at this whole music thing as a business. It was more like giving, just giving without having any expectation.
Yeah, it was just your heart.
Yeah.
Now, your music style is what is so incredibly unique about you in the way that it is political, it is philosophical, and I think being from Nigeria and being born there is really what informs your consciousness. When you think about things that you talk about the corruption that, has really marred that nation for such a long time. You talk about the, injustice and marginalization of people by billion-dollar oil corporations who come in there and they don't put anything back. They leave a wake of destruction, You talk about also vagabonds in power, about the politicians. You also shine a light on the people themselves, saying, you have to take responsibility. And what's also incredible is that you don't shy from putting the spotlight on yourself, in terms of what you call, your own issues. How important is that music style for you, especially in the way that it's made you into an activist, sort of, for people, some of whom are not able to speak for themselves? Why is that so important to you, that style?
Well, they say in the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. If I had nothing to feel, I wouldn't be able to speak and cry out. Everything that comes out is from what I feel and what I see in my surrounding. If I couldn't just make noise like an empty vessel, even if it sounds beautiful. I feel responsible. I feel responsible to also give back to Nigeria, to be a voice of the many who do not have the courage to speak out their minds, especially women. And, I'm connected to each and everything that I speak. I have to be able to practice what I preach. Hence, when I listen to myself sing, when I listen to myself speak, I learn from the words that come outside or out of my own mouth. Because sometimes they even surprise me, I think it's, for me, not for me alone, I think for many, 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 many Nigerians out there, many Africans, people in general, I think it's important that we are aware of how much impact we personally have on the world, how much power we have, how much power our mouth has, the tongue has, because that's exactly what manifests itself into reality. That's just how it is, Yeah.
We're going to take a quick short break, and we'll be right back.
Today's generation of young people spend the least amount of time outside of any generation in human history. We need to have children out, we need to have people out in order to see the world around that allows us to live. I think something like the Sea to Sky Trail is the epitome of what we need to get people back out into the real world, to see nature as it can be, and something that we are a part of and that we must fight to protect.
Hello and welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching The Ledge. I'm here at the Billboard Cabaret to see the wonderfully talented Nneka. Now, we're just talking about, responsibility in terms of, knowing that we do have a responsibility, whether it is, to the people or the place. Now, you were part of that Occupy Nigeria movement, which was something that happened all across the world. The protests of people saying, the socio-economic inequalities that people had just had enough of that.
We want good governance.
The Nigerian one, you were very vocal and you were very visible in that movement. Like, why was that so important for you? And what changes, if any, did you see come out of that?
I had the impression that people were not just talking about, the oil subsidy there. People used that opportunity to come together and express their minds towards what has been happening in the country. People just wanted to use that platform to say, hey, we're tired of corruption, enough is enough. Regardless of where we're coming from, Yoruba, Igbo, Urobo, Shekiri, we're all in the same place here. And we come together as one and protest against this darkness and injustice. And that is what I thought was amazing.
Now,
but we still have to do our own part.
Yeah, that's what I love.
Despite the fact that I always say government, yes, we vote them into power.
People as well.
But we ourselves, we have so much work to do. Our mentality, the way we see ourselves, the way we see each other, the inferiority complex.
I love how you talk about the imprisoned mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All these things.
It is so important.
Colonial mentality.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you have to get out of that because otherwise you'll still continue to see yourself as small. And not capable. And this is part of the philosophy of what you sing about, which is so beautiful. You've collaborated with some incredible world-famous musicians all around the world. I mean, you've been on tour with Nas, Damian Marley, I believe. How was that to take you back to that very first time you heard that Nas wanted you on tour? What was your initial reaction to that?
I was afraid. I was like, okay, where are we going now? Not a problem. Okay, we're going to do this. And then what I liked was that the name of the tour was called Distant Relatives. So it was more than just entertainment. It was showing the world that
Roots coming together.
exactly the roots coming together, regardless of where we're coming from. We can all come together and make something work. Exactly. And I was, as a woman, in the center of two men representing Africa and representing the source of life, which is motherhood.
That's right, baby.
Yes. Without us, there's no existence.
There's nothing. Yeah. You've won numerous awards over the years. And in
numerous.
Yeah, you've got a few now. In 2009, you won in 2009. You won the UK Mobile Awards. How incredible was that experience, especially to be amongst your peers, your music being honored in such a way? What was that like to be in that room?
That was big. That was big. I remember I actually didn't want to go and collect the award because I got cold feet. And then my sister, who is a little bit more, how do I say?
Bolder.
She's more posh than I am. She's like, come on, shut up your mouth. We're flying the first class. They pay, we go there, and if you don't want to collect the award, I'll collect it for you.
Sorry, Nneka couldn't be here, but we're picking this thing up.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Did you meet any artists out there who came and
I met, what's her name, Estelle.
Oh,
I met,
Estelle, she's amazing.
Femi Kuti was there.
It's funny, people mirror your music and the way you are political and philosophical. They say you are a bit like Fela. Well,
I do look up to Fela.
Amazing. That is such a
legend.
Great, how'd you find when people kind of relate you and they say you're like this, you're like that? Do you think that that's a great compliment?
I take an example of especially if these people have positively had an impact on the world.
Indeed.
And somebody like Fela, obviously, I do not mind being compared, or if people say I'm walking in the shadows of Fela.
Many foreign artists in Africa carry your money go. Many foreign companies in Africa carry your money go.
Fela is to me, as he is to many Nigerians, many Africans, somebody who was able to express the simple mind
he began that thing, that Afrobeat of being able to call out the system and say, look, this is not the way to be, and you do a fantastic job of it.
And also improvise while doing music. It was not just about a track sounding good from beginning to end, but being free to feel and express yourself in that moment. It had nothing to do with being rational or brain controlled whilst doing music.
It's just follow the heart where it leads you.
Yeah.
2010 was an incredible year for you. You went on the David Letterman show.
Please welcome Nneka.
And you be there for me in times of trouble when I need you, when I'm down. And likewise in your friendship, it's from my sample up and oscillated things have been changing. You've goals to achieve.
David's one I love David Letterman. It's incredible now that he's just left and you were able. Isn't that amazing?
I saw him on some Formula One racing thing. I'm like, okay, maybe he needs to go into pension and just chill.
Just chill
He's
out.
been working hard.
Yeah, for so many years.
He looks nicer now.
He does, doesn't he? I think he looks amazing. But you had the opportunity to. What was your first impression of Letterman and that appearance? Did it do anything for your career?
To be honest with you, I didn't even know how much, how popular,
famous he was?
how famous he is.
Wow.
Exactly. Until I was on the show, and then people started calling me from Nigeria. I said, wait, we saw you on Letterman. What? And then later,
what's the big deal?
It really helped to also open. I had always wanted to come back to Nigeria and be accepted. I want my music to be accepted by people. Up till then, I had done several tours with Two
But it
Face.
wasn't as big in Nigeria
It was
as
not
you
even.
wanted
It was
to
not
be.
even about big. It was just about
Just knowing
allowing me
even.
to be able to express myself musically. Also, be conscious with my music. It was not just, to me, it's not just about entertainment. You know, it's about us having that space. Yeah, and also, how do I say, encouraging fellow Nigerians or artists, upcoming artists, to go into music and be able to express themselves. These are things that our parents did not do when we were younger. Sorry. After Letterman, that feeling left. Like that feeling of me trying to force myself
You
on
didn't have to do
Nigeria.
that anymore.
I didn't have to do that anymore.
Wow.
It was really bad for like 3-4 years. I got fed up with Nigeria and I said, you know what, I'm not going on
done
any
with
tour,
that,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Wow.
After Letterman, it was like,
It was
okay.
kind of like a different sort of
Oh.
new day.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick short break. I'll be right back.
We are kids. Wish kids.
10,000 kids.
We are brave.
We are strong.
We are fighters. Some days are good. Some days are bad. Some of us make it.
Some of us don't.
My wish will make me strong.
The Children's Wish Foundation of Canada.
Does a wish make a difference?
You bet. You bet.
Imagine the difference a wish can make.
Only 2 more needles till my wish.
Please give today.
Welcome back. If you're showing us, you're watching The Legend. I'm still here with Nneka, and we're kind of wrapping the day up very slowly here. Now, your latest album, which is your 5th album, My FairyTales. Like, what an incredible... It's already looking like it's going to be another smash for you right now. It's got some incredible tracks on there. Let's talk about My Love, My Love. And that has one of my very, very, very favorite videos. Like, because it has you sitting on a toilet. Now, I gotta say, there's very few people who can, you know, sit on a toilet in a music video and look as cute as you do. And you know, for me, that was Nneka honest and raw again, you know, and it worked. Like, whose idea is something like that to say, you know, why don't we sit on the toilet? Who comes up with something like that?
What happened was, okay, my FairyTales record is an independent release. It's the first time I'm releasing a record on my own label.
Good for you, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember while we had already put out My Love on the radio in France and in Germany, we remembered that we didn't have a video for the single. This was the first single after Book of Job. Book of Job was more like a teaser for the album.
Wow.
So a friend of mine, we said we need to do something that is very, very simple.
Exactly.
It's like kind of a selfie kind of... what do you call it? Selfies. Selfies are
Selfie
so
world,
in and so
exactly.
important
Totally.
these days.
Oh, no
He's like,
kidding.
do you have an what do you call it?
iPod.
iPhone?
Oh, yeah,
I said,
iPod.
no. He said, okay, that's bad. So we'll just do like if you are,
Just at home.
at home, like personal and the camera. You're talking to the camera, like you know. So that's what we did, and it was just very simple. It took only a couple of hours to shoot.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Now, who inspired that? Because it seemed like you were in love. There was this love in your eyes that, you know...
My Love, first of all, it's a song that is very, it sounds very light and very, very positive. But
like
I'm not
all
going to
about
lie.
love,
Yes.
You know, and like you're in love. Even it seemed like
It's like you're in
like
love.
your lover was in that camera. I was like,
Yeah.
who's the guy in the back of that? Who's she looking at? I was
No,
saying,
but that was wishful thinking then. And every day I sing this song, and every day that anytime I watch that video, I think I'm getting closer to this real, like really making that love reality.
wow. You know, and I'm
So it
just
was
about
wishful thinking in the beginning.
So, okay, what do you do to get away from all of this? And the next question would be, who do you get away with? You know, dating. Like, do you get a chance to, you know?
Not really. Like, I cook. I like to cook. I like to paint.
Hey,
I like to paint pots and make the garden and wash clothes with my hands.
Nothing to do with music.
Swim.
Okay.
And with people, it'd be nice to be, around
You
people
just don't have time for love right now,
No, there is time for love all the time. You can make time for love all the time.
You're a special guy in your life, because there are a lot of guys who think you're great, and they just want to gosh, I wish I could date her, and
Really?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Okay, guys,
That's not, no, I was not, no.
No, exactly. I always joke, who the hell's got time for that anyway? Exactly. I gotta say, you are incredible, an incredible inspiration, not just to Nigerians, but I believe to every consciously minded person, individual out there. It doesn't matter where they're from, because in the way that you teach, people to not be afraid to be confrontational in their probing and their questioning of the system, for them to be steadfast in their convictions. What you do, I think, is such a beautiful light.
Thank you
so much, darling.
For the support, for the love.
No, it's been a great pleasure. You are a beautiful light to the world.
Thank you.
And I wish you nothing but continued success forever. Give me some love, darling. Écoutez. I guess that's our show. From right here on location at the Cabaret, I'd like to thank my guest, Nneka. And you at home, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comment about this show or any other episode, please go to our website, www.theledgetvshow.com, or any of our Facebook pages, or you can send me a tweet at Lola Acala. And remember, guys, it's so much better to spread love than hate, because love is so much more powerful and beautiful. From Nneka and myself.
My bear. That's it.
We'll see you next time. Take care.
Before you know it, it's only a matter of time. It's right before you. So don't give up. Know, truly know that God has done who you are. It all becomes so clear. It's then that you truly know. And before you know it, it's only a matter